If you wake up several times a night, your body may be sending a warning, not a loud one. Not the kind that makes you call the doctor first thing in the morning, but a quiet one, a persistent one. The kind that leaves you staring at the ceiling at 2 in the morning, then again at 3, then again at 4, wondering why sleep just won't stay. If you're over 60, you've probably been told this is normal. Just part of getting older, they say. Your bladder slows down, your sleep gets lighter. Nothing to worry about. But what if I told you that waking up repeatedly throughout the night is not actually a normal part of aging at all? What if I told you that for millions of seniors across this country, those nightly wake-ups are a sign of something much deeper happening inside the body? Something most doctors never even test for. My name is Dr. Silas Redford, and on this channel, Dr. Silas Redford Wellness, we don't talk about complicated medical theories or expensive treatments that don't work. We talk about real, honest, practical health information that actually matters for people in their 50s, 60s, 70s, and beyond. And today's topic is one I've been asked about more than almost any other, because nothing affects your quality of life like losing your sleep night after night after night. Imagine a woman named Margaret. She is 74 years old, lives in Florida. She stays active, plays bridge with her friends, and tries to take care of herself. But for the past 8 years, Margaret has not slept through the night. Not once. She falls asleep fine, but without fail. She's awake at 1 in the morning, then again around 3, and often again at 5. She lies there in the dark, her mind racing, her body restless, waiting for morning to come. Her doctor told her it was age. Her daughter bought her a new mattress. She tried warm milk, melatonin, even prescription sleep aids. Nothing worked. And here is the part that broke my heart when Margaret messaged me. She had started to believe something was wrong with her. Deep down, she wondered if her body was just giving up. She felt embarrassed that she couldn't do something as basic as sleep, and she had no idea that the real problem had almost nothing to do with her age and almost everything to do with a hidden mechanism inside her body that had been quietly malfunctioning for years. What Margaret didn't know, and what most seniors across America don't realize, is that the body has an internal clock. Scientists call it the circadian rhythm, but think of it like a conductor in an orchestra. When the conductor is working correctly, every instrument plays in harmony. You fall asleep, you stay asleep, you wake up feeling restored. But when something throws that conductor off, the entire orchestra falls apart. And here is what the latest research is discovering. There is one hidden factor that disrupts this internal clock more than almost anything else. A factor that has nothing to do with stress or caffeine or how dark your bedroom is. And most seniors are exposed to it every single day without ever knowing. But before I tell you exactly what that factor is, I need you to understand why this matters so deeply. Because if you have been waking up multiple times every night, you already know what it feels like. The grogginess that follows you all day. The fog in your brain that makes simple tasks feel difficult. The irritability that creeps into your conversations. The fear that maybe this is just how the rest of your life is going to feel. And if this video speaks to you, if you have been living like Margaret for months or even years, please take just 1 second to hit that like button and subscribe to this channel. It helps more than you know, and it makes sure you don't miss the information that could genuinely change how you feel. Now let me ask you something. Have you noticed that your nighttime wake-ups often happen at the same time every night? 1:15, 3:30, maybe 4:45. That is not a coincidence. The body runs on cycles, and when something is out of balance, those cycles break at predictable moments. Researchers have found that fragmented sleep, waking up repeatedly, is one of the clearest signals of metabolic dysregulation, a fancy way of saying your body's energy systems are not working the way they should. And what causes that more than anything else? Blood sugar instability. Most seniors think blood sugar problems only matter for people with diabetes. That is simply not true. Your blood sugar naturally rises and falls throughout the day and night. But when it becomes too unstable, when it spikes and crashes like a roller coaster, your body responds by releasing stress hormones, cortisol, adrenaline. These hormones are designed to wake you up in an emergency. But when they surge in the middle of the night because your blood sugar has dropped too low, they do exactly what they are supposed to do. They wake you up. And once you are awake, your body struggles to go back down into deep sleep. So you lie there, or you get up, or you toss and turn until dawn. Here is what shocked Margaret when she finally learned the truth. She had no idea her blood sugar was unstable because her regular checkups always came back normal. Her fasting glucose was fine. Her A1C was fine. Her doctor told her she did not have diabetes. But what doctors rarely explain is that blood sugar instability, sometimes called reactive hypoglycemia or glucose variability, can cause serious symptoms long before you cross the line into full diabetes. And one of the most common symptoms is exactly what Margaret was experiencing, waking up multiple times every single night. There is a reason this happens most often in seniors. As you age, your body becomes less efficient at regulating blood sugar. Your cells become more resistant to insulin, the hormone that moves sugar out of your bloodstream and into your cells. This is a natural part of aging, but for many people it happens much faster than it should. And when your cells resist insulin, your blood sugar stays higher longer after meals, then crashes lower than it should a few hours later. And that crash, that low point, often hits right in the middle of the night, 3 or 4 hours after you fell asleep, exactly when Margaret and millions like her find themselves wide awake. But here's where it gets even more interesting. The timing matters. Most people eat their largest meal in the evening. Dinner, maybe a snack before bed, maybe a glass of wine or something sweet after dinner. That meal, especially if it is heavy in refined carbohydrates like bread, pasta, rice, or sugar, triggers a blood sugar spike. Then, while you are sleeping, your body works to bring that spike down. But in many seniors, the body overcorrects. It releases too much insulin, and blood sugar drops too low. That low blood sugar triggers a stress response, and that stress response wakes you up. You are not waking up because you are old. You are waking up because your dinner is sabotaging your sleep. Let me tell you about a man named George, 69 years old, retired electrician from Michigan. George thought he was doing everything right. He stopped drinking coffee after noon. He stopped watching television in bed. He even bought blackout curtains. But he was still waking up at 2 in the morning like clockwork. When I asked him what he ate for dinner, he told me spaghetti with garlic bread, his favorite meal, at least 3 times a week. He had no idea that his seemingly harmless dinner was the direct cause of his sleepless nights. Within 10 days of changing his evening meal to something with more protein, healthy fats, and fiber, George started sleeping through the night for the first time in 6 years. 6 years of exhausted mornings, solved by paying attention to what was on his plate. And this is the part that frustrates me the most. Millions of seniors are taking prescription sleep medications that come with serious side effects: dizziness, falls, memory problems, daytime drowsiness, when the real problem has nothing to do with their brain and everything to do with their metabolism. The drugs mask the symptom while the underlying problem continues to get worse. But when you address blood sugar instability directly, when you give your body the stability it needs, sleep often returns naturally, without pills, without side effects, without expensive treatments. Now I want to talk about something that surprises most people. The solution is not complicated. It does not require a complete overhaul of your life, but it does require paying attention to 3 specific things. First, the timing of your meals. Eating a large meal too close to bedtime dramatically increases the risk of middle-of-the-night blood sugar crashes. Try to finish dinner at least 3 hours before you go to sleep. Second, the composition of your evening meal. Meals that are high in refined carbohydrates and low in protein and healthy fats are the biggest offenders. A piece of grilled chicken or fish with roasted vegetables and a small serving of brown rice or quinoa will almost always produce a much more stable blood sugar response than a bowl of pasta or a sandwich on white bread. And third, what you eat after dinner. Many seniors have a habit of eating something sweet after their evening meal. A cookie, a small bowl of ice cream, a few crackers, even something as small as a handful of pretzels can trigger a blood sugar spike that leads to a crash in the middle of the night. If you are hungry before bed, try a small handful of nuts, a hard-boiled egg, or a few slices of apple with peanut butter. These foods provide steady energy and will not send your blood sugar on a roller coaster. But there is something else, something even more hidden, something researchers have only recently connected to fragmented sleep in seniors. And this might surprise you. It is dehydration. Not the obvious kind where you feel thirsty, but chronic mild dehydration that develops slowly over years. Your body produces a hormone called vasopressin that helps you retain water while you sleep. As you age, your body produces less of this hormone. That means you lose more water overnight. And when you become even slightly dehydrated, your body responds by releasing stress hormones, the same stress hormones that wake you up in the middle of the night. Here is what is wild about this. Many seniors reduce their water intake in the evening because they are worried about waking up to use the bathroom. They do not want to interrupt their sleep. But by becoming dehydrated, they trigger a stress response that wakes them up anyway. And then when they wake up, they are thirsty, so they drink water, which fills their bladder, and the cycle continues. The answer is not to stop drinking water. The answer is to drink consistently throughout the day so you are not playing catch-up at night, and to include electrolytes, especially magnesium, which helps calm the nervous system and supports stable sleep. Magnesium is one of the most underrated nutrients for senior health. It plays a role in over 300 biochemical reactions in your body, including the reactions that control your sleep cycles. Research has shown that low magnesium levels are strongly associated with poor sleep quality, nighttime awakenings, and difficulty falling back asleep after waking up. And here is the problem. As you age, your body absorbs less magnesium from food. Even if you are eating a reasonably healthy diet, you may still be deficient. The best food sources of magnesium are dark leafy greens, nuts, seeds, beans, and whole grains, but many seniors do not eat enough of these foods, and that deficiency quietly contributes to their sleepless nights year after year. I want you to think about Margaret again, the 74-year-old who had not slept through the night in 8 years. When she finally understood that her problem was not age, but blood sugar instability and low magnesium, she made 3 small changes. She shifted her dinner earlier. She replaced her bedtime snack of crackers with a handful of almonds. And she started eating a small salad with dark leafy greens every evening. Within 3 weeks, she was sleeping 5.5 hours straight for the first time in nearly a decade. Within 6 weeks, she was sleeping through the night. Not perfectly every single night, but dramatically better than before. And she cried when she told me because she had spent 8 years believing her body was broken when it was not. If you are waking up multiple times every night, your body is not broken. It is signaling. It is trying to tell you that something is out of balance. And the beautiful truth is that these signals are gifts. They are not punishments. They are information. And once you have that information, you can do something about it. Let me give you a simple action plan. Nothing extreme, nothing expensive. Just small, steady changes that add up. First, pay attention to your evening meal. Make sure it contains protein, healthy fat, and fiber. Avoid large portions of refined carbohydrates like white bread, white rice, pasta, and sweets. Second, finish dinner at least 3 hours before you go to bed. Third, choose a bedtime snack that stabilizes blood sugar. A small handful of nuts, a hard-boiled egg, or apple slices with nut butter are excellent choices. Fourth, drink water consistently throughout the day so you are not dehydrated at night. Fifth, add more magnesium-rich foods to your daily eating. Dark leafy greens, pumpkin seeds, almonds, black beans, and quinoa are all excellent sources. And sixth, be patient with yourself. Your body has been learning patterns for years. It will take time to unlearn them and establish new ones. But the research is clear. Within a few weeks of making these changes, most seniors notice a significant improvement in their sleep continuity, not because of a pill, not because of an expensive gadget, but because they gave their body what it needed to do, what it already knows how to do: sleep. You deserve to sleep through the night. You deserve to wake up feeling rested instead of exhausted. You deserve to know that your body is not your enemy. It is your ally, and it is sending you messages that, once you understand them, can guide you back to the peace you have been missing. If this video meant something to you today, I would be honored if you shared it with someone you love: a spouse, a friend, a sibling, someone who has been complaining about sleepless nights for years. You might be the person who finally gives them the answer they have been looking for. And please take a moment to leave a comment. Tell me if you have been waking up at the same time every night. Tell me what you have tried. Tell me what questions you still have. Your comments do not just help me. They help build a community of seniors across this country who are supporting each other toward better health. And that community is one of the most powerful things we have. Thank you for being here. Thank you for caring about your health. And I will see you in the next one.